How do you manage API rate limits when consuming external APIs? Imagine you're trying to get data from an outside service, but suddenly you hit a wall. Your requests get blocked or slowed down. That's what happens when you don't manage API rate limits properly. Managing these limits is key to keeping your application running smoothly and respecting the rules set by the API provider. First, you need to understand what the API provider allows. They set specific limits on how many requests you can make in a certain time frame, like per second, minute, or day. These limits can change depending on the endpoint you're using, your subscription level, or whether you're authenticated. Carefully read the API documentation to know your exact limits and any special rules. Next, keep an eye on your usage. Many APIs give you a way to check how many requests you've made so far. Some offer dashboards or APIs that report your current consumption. Monitoring helps you avoid exceeding limits unexpectedly, which can cause your requests to be rejected or delayed. To prevent hitting the limit, implement client-side rate limiting. This means adding logic in your backend that controls how fast requests are sent. You can use algorithms like fixed window, which allows a set number of requests per time period, sliding window, which smooths out request bursts, or token bucket, where tokens are added at a steady rate and each request consumes one. Pick the method that best matches your traffic pattern and complexity needs. When your application hits the limit and gets a rejection, use retries with exponential backoff. This means waiting longer after each failed attempt before trying again, reducing the chance of repeated failures. It's a simple way to handle temporary rate limit issues without overwhelming the API. If the API supports webhooks, use them instead of polling. Webhooks push updates to your application in real time, cutting down on unnecessary requests. This saves you from hitting limits and makes your app more efficient. You can also set different limits for different endpoints or user types. For example, critical features might have higher limits, while less important ones are more restricted. This helps prioritize important tasks and keeps your app responsive. Always handle rate limit responses gracefully. When the API responds with a status code like 429 too many requests, your backend should recognize it and slow down or pause requests. This prevents further issues and keeps your app stable. Using API gateways or middleware tools like Kong or NGINX can help manage limits centrally. These tools have built-in rate limiting features that make it easier to control traffic and enforce rules without writing extra code. Some APIs change their limits based on server load or your subscription plan. Design your system to adapt dynamically. If limits go up or down, your app should adjust request rates accordingly. Finally, optimize your API calls. Cache responses when possible, batch multiple requests into one, and avoid making redundant calls. This reduces the total number of requests and helps you stay within your limits. By following these steps, you can keep your application running smoothly, avoid service interruptions, and stay within the rules set by the API provider. Managing rate limits isn't just about avoiding errors. It's about making your backend more reliable and efficient.